teacher job. One summer day, when I was one, my grandmother and mother and aunts tried to feed me with sheep brain because they think that they are hoping that I would be more healthy and more intelligent. But in the evening, I had a severe gastroenteritis and diarrhea, and my parents hardly found a pediatrician in the town. I was really dehydrated, and if I hadn't been treated, I would have passed away as a small baby. This was my first challenge in my life. Actually, I was not very healthy children until the age of 8 or 9. I visited the doctor nearly once a month, and I remember the glass injectors. Do you remember them? They had tips and they burned it. My mother and grandmother were grabbing my legs and arms, and the nurse could inject me because I was very afraid. Then I decided to be a pediatrician because these experiences are painful for me. There should be less painful way to treat the children. In my school life, I was determined to be a doctor because being a doctor, I would help the people, they would be more happier, it's a respectful job, I would earn good money, and I would make science. But one day in a biology class in the high school, the teacher asked volunteers for few drops of blood to look under the microscope. I was the one of the volunteers. When my friend pinched my digit, the surrounding became blurred, and it was like in the films. I saw the faces behind the curtains, and the voices are roaring. They are saying, "Pelin, what are you doing? What happened to you?" And the teacher came and held my legs, and I was okay. But similar thing happened again. When I was ill, the nurse drew my blood, and I had a nausea and vomiting. I was afraid. What would happen to my plans? Could I be a doctor? My mother was encouraging me that I would overcome my fears, but I was not sure. While I was making my preferences, as well as writing the other faculties, I have some medical faculties. The exam was declared, and I started to medical school. In the first 3 years, we had main lessons and some practical lessons on models, named professional skills. In one professional skill lesson, one surgeon abi showed us blood settling. After the lesson, I went and said that I had hematophobia, and I wanted to ask him that could I overcome my fears. But when he heard the hematophobia, he said that, "Why are you here?" I was very disappointed, and I decided to go to the emergency service with a friend whose father was working also in the hospital, and she would support me. We went there and took our permission and entered the room. An intern was trying to take arterial blood, which was harder than routine blood settling. He tried once and twice, but he failed. But while he was trying, I felt as if I was the patient, and I started sweating coldly, and my heart is beating fastly, and I was panicked. What would I do? I would be a doctor, and I shouldn't faint in the room. I should go out, but how? I tried to get my strength back and go out the room, but there was a long way. I stepped once, twice, then I didn't remember, the film was over. The film started again, the two interns were trying to hold my arms and pick me up. They took me to the emergency room and said that they will call a surgeon abi Because I had a cleft on my face. Cleft on my face, I went there to saw the patients, but now I was the patient. The surgeon I became, and while he was looking at my forehead, I asked him, is there any scar on my face? He looked and said that what would happen if you had a scar on your face? Would nobody want to marry you? That was silly. That was not my point. That was my last fall because of hematophobia. For sure, I think I got my senses back, and sure I worked a lot in the next 3 years in night shifts and the operating rooms, and at the end I even took my mother's blood when she was taking chemotherapy, which is a really hard task. Most of us have dreams, and so I have a broad way to become a doctor. But I didn't give up. I worked a lot. Sometimes I felt sorry and discouraging words, but I think if we believe and want and work enough, we achieve. Thank you.